So this guy makes over $100,000 a month in the info space, and I'm about to go spend an hour with him to see if he's full of shit or if he's real. So that being said, I'll see you guys there.
It's a fucking Z06. Nothing like a little duct tape won't fix. In the span of 24 hours, I'm not even kidding, I got the car impounded like 4 times. It's the biggest L I've ever taken in my life. Oh, I was a cop. When you make your first money, you should just blow it. First 2 months back in Miami, I spent a total of 157K. I think it's the biggest fucking waste of time.
All right, guys, we made it out here with Dustin. Introduce
What's up,
yourself,
guys?
brother.
My name is Dustin Varano. I'm 21 years old. I live in Miami, Florida. I actually just moved back to Miami from Dubai. So I've lived in Miami for like 3 years.
Sweet.
Was just in Dubai for like 3 months. Didn't like it as much as Miami, so now back in Miami.
Sweet, bro. Sweet. Let me show that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just picked this up a couple days ago. Pretty fucking sick with the crib, right? I should do like a photo shoot with this or something.
I know.
Maybe that's the thumbnail right there.
What'd you do to your car, bro?
So this is the beater whip, all right? I had a little incident in Orlando. A bunch of boxes in a garage might have been involved, but nothing like a little duct tape won't fix, so should be fine.
Yeah, should be good.
Yeah. These are just loud as fuck stock, bro. I didn't even realize when I bought it, but you'll see, bro. This shit's loud as fuck.
Yeah, I've never been in a vet.
This is it's not a C8, it's a Z06.
Oh, okay. Even better.
Yeah. But no one knows the fucking difference. Everyone thinks it's a C8. Even though it's like 3 times the price.
Yeah, literally. You're in the info space, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically what I do is I partner with creators, I partner with influencers, people that have an organic pull. I don't touch any paid ads. I just specifically choose people that have an organic following.
Yeah.
All I do is I build out all the systems in the back end. I place closer setters. I run their entire offer and I just take a percentage from the whole thing.
That's dope. And what were you doing before you started entrepreneurship?
I mean, bro, I started this shit when I was like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
I was the kid running lemonade stands when I was like 12 years old.
Sick.
So I pretty much always done like entrepreneur stuff.
Yeah.
I graduated high school. I didn't go to college. I've never had a job. So I've kind of always done this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. And what inspired you to get started like from the beginning, from a young age?
Dude, so it's funny you say that. So I didn't really give a shit about making money. I wasn't like, oh my God, I want to buy this, I want to buy this. It was when I was 14 years old and my mom told me, she's like, yo, you gotta get a job now. My family is very like work. Like everyone's a hustler. So literally I turned 14 and she's like, you gotta get a job. And I was like, well, I don't want to get a job. I just want to play video games. How much money do I have to make to not get a job?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you know, for now, like $400 a month. So that's when I started, and I was able to make like a few $100 a month. Didn't have to get a job, and then I just went from there.
That's dope. So were you doing any other side hustles or like businesses before you got into the info space?
Yeah, well, the first thing I did, like I said, to start making that first few $100 a month, I was doing reselling. So like I would resell sneakers, I would resell like Supreme t-shirts and shit.
Yeah.
And then when I got into that, I found out about something called cook groups, which was basically a Discord group. You'd pay like $50, $100 a month for access, and it would tell you where all the sneakers are dropping. So that was like my first info product, because I was paying for information. It was like $50 a month.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction in info products, and then ever since then, I made my own cook group, and then I've never really left the info product space.
That's fire. And what made you your first like 10K month?
It was that, bro, making my own like cook group, and then selling memberships to it.
And how much are you making per month right now?
So last month was my biggest month to date. I cleared 178K personal profit last month.
Profit?
Yeah, and that's with my own info offer and then all my client info offers.
That's dope.
But that's after paying closers, setters, everything. Like that's my take home.
Yeah, that's great, bro. What does your day-to-day life look like now that you hit 6 figures a month in profit and stuff like that?
So it's actually changed quite a bit. First of all, in Dubai, my day-to-day life, nothing but work. I didn't go out there. I didn't do shit. I literally worked for 3 months straight. The most productive 3 months of my life. Like I was just fucking stacking bread. Yeah. And then I came to Miami. I mean, you did a video with Samir, right?
Yeah.
Did he talk about like going out and shit?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Samir's a fucking demon. So I came back to Miami, and then Samir was here. And like the first 2 months back, I've been back for 3 months. The last month I've been pretty locked in, but the first 2 months was straight fucking DJing, just me and Samir going out. I checked my statements. The first 2 months back in Miami, I spent a total of 157K minus the car. That was just going out, dinners, clubs, everything.
Yeah.
Because Samir just runs it up. Oh, we went to Tulum too. That was like 100K in one weekend. But bro, Samir, it's honestly,
do it all. He's crazy.
I know. I blame Samir, bro, because like we would be in Tulum, the club is fucking empty. It's 5 a.m. and then I see like 8 Dom P's coming out, and it's just there's no point. Well, why not? I guess.
Yeah. And what is your background like? Like, where'd you come from? Did you come from like a wealthy family, or?
So my family's not like wealthy, but they're not poor. Like I would say like an average middle class family. My family's very scattered. So I was born in Arizona. I grew up like half my life there, and then the other half I grew up in Hawaii. My parents are actually still out there, and I'm pretty much like the only one over here on the East Coast.
Gotcha. What business do you recommend people start with? Do you recommend they start with info or not?
Well, here's the thing. Like starting with info, there's 2 sides to info. Yeah. There's the gurus that make content and sell info, and then there's the guys that partner with the gurus, run the back end, and help the gurus sell their info. Yeah. I do both. So I have my own info offer now, which I opened like 6 months ago, and then pretty much the previous 6 years before that, I've just been partnering with people and running theirs. Everyone hates on C8s. Well, to be clear, this isn't a C8, it's a G06, okay? I swear to God, anytime a girl's in this car, she's like, oh my God, you have a C8? And I'm like, bro, it's a fucking G06. But no, I mean, this is a really good car. It's just the fact that it's a Corvette. Like, it's like I literally haven't even posted that I own this car because it's just like it's just aura loss, bro. Yeah, it's just aura loss. I can't do it.
Yeah. What do you plan on getting next?
I want to get a Ferrari 488. I'm thinking either that or a Rolls Royce Ghost.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah. I'm doing the progression well. This car is like 150. Yeah. The next one I get will probably be like 250, 300.
Yeah.
I'm not going too crazy with it.
Is this your first car?
Well, so my first car was a C8, and then I have the Z06. But the thing is, I kind of ruined cars for me because in Dubai, I didn't have a car in Dubai, but you can rent cars in Dubai with no insurance, and they provide the insurance. And I was renting cars so often, they would give me like $500,000 SF90 rentals for like $600 a day. Oh shit. So I pretty much daily to SF90 there. I was always in a fucking...
Yeah, I see you on your Instagram.
You can look at my Instagram reels, bro. Like, it's just infinite cars. So I was pretty much dailying like the most insane whips there. And yeah, because of that, it kind of just fucking ruined cars for me. I've already experienced literally every car you could possibly drive.
Yeah. Are the top 3 habits that people need to do to become successful in the beginning, and then the top 3 habits they like should not be doing?
Okay, so well, in the beginning is a little bit different than when you're already successful, because to be honest, like even like Samir's a lot more successful than me. He makes way more money than me. By the way, funny thing, Samir's 3 days younger than me. We have pretty much the same birthday. Really? Yeah. Oh, wow. But he makes like a fucking $1 million a month. Like, he's just
he's killing it.
He's fucking rich as fuck. Yeah. But my point I'm getting at is, both of us go out a shit ton and have really bad habits of like smoking and drinking and all that shit. Yeah. But it's fine because we're already successful. We already have businesses set up. We already have systems in place, so we're like, we can disappear. We can disappear for a couple days and it's fine. Yeah. At the start, you can't do that, bro. The number one thing you need is momentum. Momentum is how you make any fucking money, especially at the start. If you're grinding, killing it for 2 weeks, building momentum, and you take a 2-day break, you're fucked. So you really just you can't do that shit at the start. You need to be fully locked in. Agreed. You need to be the guy that doesn't go out and sits at his fucking computer for 12 hours a day. Even though it's not what you want to do, it's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, agreed. I think most people mistake that because they see the social media and they're like, oh, I can just go have fun. But they get mixed up.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that shit after you make money. Because they see the guys that are making $500,000 a month just partying all day, but it's like, they can do that because they had those years where they didn't do shit.
Yeah. And then moving into the content side and operational side of things for the info space for people who run an agency like I run one as well. Do you think having a personal brand in 2025 is a smart move?
I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, even if you're not gonna sell info, or you're not gonna directly monetize it. Like the amount of people I've met just because I have a fucking Instagram account with mutuals, it's insane. Like there's no better way to. My point is, like, you just need to run it up. Even if you don't have any value to provide right now, or you don't have the fucking pictures in front of a Lambo, you just need to run it up and start building that. And then, worst case, bro, you have all that history to look back on and see your journey, because people will take you a lot more seriously if they can see your journey and see that, like, 2 years ago you were tweeting, you were making no money, and now you're making money. Exactly, like the fact that that's there and you're not some random dude that popped up already making 100K a month. Having like that history there and having like literally just having old posts on social media will build your credibility like crazy. Yeah. And what type of content do you think people should be focusing on right now? So, I mean, it depends what the purpose is, but really anything you can provide value, bro, because everyone's posting lifestyle, everyone's pushing lifestyle shit. I have creators under my belt that I work with that they get a shit ton of views posting lifestyle, and then I have creators, like I'm talking like multi-hundreds of thousands of views posting lifestyle on Instagram, and then I have creators that get 1,000 views a video on YouTube and are printing 10 times more money. Yeah. Just because like actually providing value is what brings quality. It doesn't bring quantity, but it brings quality. So do you get any clients from your personal brand, or is it just outreach, outbound? So yeah, I'd say, I mean, at first it was like, I want to say it was like 80-20. Now it's probably like 50-50. Half of it is like just from referrals or people just knowing who I am in the space, and the other half is outreach. Gotcha. Okay. And what type of outreach do you do? So I actually have a full video on my YouTube going over my outreach, but it's literally just straight up cold Instagram DM outreach. And really when it comes down to that, everyone says outreach is dead, but it's just because they're nobodies, bro. Like if you look at my Instagram account, my account looks really fucking good. If I send a DM to someone, like they're gonna see my DM, they're gonna look at it just because of my account. It doesn't matter what the actual DM is. So when it comes to like DM outreach, cold outreach, 90% of the focus needs to be on the account you're sending the outreach from. Agreed, yeah. And how many like DMs do you recommend people do a day when they're starting out? So I mean, really, it comes out of rate limits and how aged your account is. I personally send like 40 DMs a day on Instagram. Like I don't send a lot, but that's just because like rate limits, and you don't want your account to get flagged as spam and shit. Agreed, yeah.
How we sell bricks, we don't sell shit. We just make hits. Tryna keep in my composure, never sober, never choking, always smoking dope. Fuck them if they getting over. Got a month of coke because the kid the coldest. I ain't changed, I stay the same and maintain. It's safe to say the kid getting older. Forever gang, I'm never switching over.
If you had to restart your info journey today and like you were starting your info business, would you do anything differently or not?
The only thing I would do differently is I would put 90% of my focus towards YouTube, and I would only work with people that are on YouTube. Because you can hit up people on Instagram that are getting 100,000 views a video, have 100,000 million followers, whatever, but you can make the same amount of money from someone on YouTube getting a couple thousand views a video, just making super niche videos targeting the exact ICP, the exact demographic, and you can make way more fucking money doing that. And because they only get a couple thousand views a video, they're probably gonna see your DM. So it's just way more efficient to stick to YouTube.
What's one belief in the info space that like you completely disagree with?
That's a fucking hard one, bro. I feel like I have multiple answers for that. One belief in the info space that I completely disagree with. I think in general, info is like has a really bad reputation. But I think 90% of the bad reputation info has comes down to the customers and not the actual people selling info. Because obviously there's people that sell info and just straight up scam. There's people that have shitty programs or whatever. I'm not denying that. But 90% of the people that say like courses are a scam, blah, 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 are the people that buy a course or buy a program and just expect to see like free money come in without doing any work. Like realistically, guys, no matter what business model you choose or what program you buy or whatever, like you need to put in a shit ton of work. Like I was saying, you need to be the guy that's just sitting at his desk all day doing nothing but work. Even if you have all the resources there, you have a mentor, whatever it is, you can't skip the hard work part. Like you still need that part regardless.
When you were starting out, did you ever work under somebody as like a setter or closer, or you just got like straight into it?
No, I didn't, but to be honest, that is a really, really good place to start. Like a lot of my mentees, my mentees that do the best, they have that experience as a setter or a closer. Obviously, I still think it's better to just get into the business model, but if you have that experience as a setter or a closer, like you're already 90% of the way there when it comes to this business model, because you probably already understand info offers pretty well.
Yeah. And for people who are like getting into content, beginners, people who are kind of in it but like are struggling, you want to break down content for them and like the content pillars between short form and long form?
You mean as far as like a creator or what?
As a creator, yeah. Like to understand how the algorithm works and stuff like that.
So, I mean, well, here's the thing. So I really only focus on YouTube and Instagram. TikTok,
Okay.
I don't even like have a fucking account.
So we'll say Instagram and YouTube.
Instagram, YouTube. Twitter is also really, really good. I used to be really big on Twitter when I had like a Discord agency, so I would sell like Discord setups. Again, same info space shit. I've always been in the info space. So I built up my Twitter really, really well. My Twitter used to be popping. Twitter and YouTube brings the highest quality demo. Instagram, if you're gonna use it, I would use it just to nurture. I wouldn't ever count on YouTube to bring in leads or bring in money or anything like that. I would simply use it as a nurturing mechanism for potential customers to just get more sold on you, more sold on your offer. All your actual leads, the high quality leads, are gonna come pretty much from YouTube and then maybe Twitter. But YouTube should be 100% the focus. When it comes to YouTube, I still think it's like a quality over quantity thing. Maybe 1 to 2 videos a week. Keep it super value based, like 20-minute, 30-minute long videos. If you do that, you have to think, for someone to buy something, they need to have consumed, at least this is what I found, is like 1 to 2 hours of your content.
Yeah.
They can sit there scrolling through every fucking reel you have, and it would maybe take them 20 minutes to scroll through your whole account. Versus YouTube, bro, they could watch 2 videos and boom, that's an hour of your content that they consumed. They feel like they know you now, they trust you. It's just way more valuable.
And do you use, you don't use YouTube for getting leads at all? You just like drop free value on them?
No, so I mean, all of my leads from my personal program come from YouTube, 100% of them. Even though I literally get 3 million views a month on Instagram, it's just lifestyle shit, I get no leads from it.
Yeah.
I honestly just post it for the aura, just for fun. But the actual leads, like the people I get that actually buy my program and end up working with me and being mentored by me one-on-one, 100% of them come from YouTube, 100% of them.
And I know some people, for example, when they start, they want to build up testimonials and not charge at first. Like that's what I did. Do you recommend people do that?
I thought that way went too fast.
Good. Yeah. Or do you recommend they just like start charging right off the bat?
Bro, I honestly hate the whole idea of like working for free. I think it's the biggest fucking waste of time ever. In fact, you know, when it comes to my clients, like my creator clients I work with, most of the time I don't charge up front. I take purely a rev share. And the thing is, if I was just starting out, I would charge up front. I would charge people up front. Just having some money, bro, and being able to pay for your shit and not having to worry about bills or anything like that is gonna give you all, it's not even so much about time, it'll just give you, it'll free up the mental capacity to actually work on building a business and making some money.
Yeah. And if they don't have any results or any experience, how do you recommend like they offer it to the person?
So there's a couple things you can do. You can kind of finesse it, and so for example, what I did is I would outreach to creators and I would show them like other creators doing something similar. So I would show them like, hey,
smart.
This guy's making $50,000 a month doing this similar offer. I wouldn't say they're my client, but I wouldn't also say they're not my client. You know what I mean?
Just be nonchalant.
So you can either do that or you can just lie and fake results, to be honest, which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And to be honest, as long as you can actually provide the service, I don't even really see anything wrong with that.
Agree. Yeah, the first one's a good point. I never heard of that.
Yeah.
It's a good way to do it. And what do you think separates people, like for example yourself, and then from other people who are not doing as good, and then Iman Ghazi, stuff like that? What separates you guys from each other?
So I kind of have a hypothesis on this. To be completely honest, like, first of all, this is the sad truth. Majority of people simply just aren't smart enough, and they're just never gonna make it. Like, there's generally some people out there, and this is like very unmotivating to say, if you're watching this video, it's probably not you because you're smart enough to be watching videos like this. But like the people that you see that are like 60 years old still working in Walmart, you know what I mean? Obviously there's people that have had hard shit in their life and maybe they can't prevent that. But majority of those people, bro, are genuine. Like if you speak to them, you'll see they're just not smart. So majority of the population genuinely just doesn't have a high enough IQ to be able to build a business or even think to do something like that. Aside from that, bro, I want to say like hard work, but to be honest, I really don't work that hard these days. I'd say working smart is a lot better than working hard. It's not so much about, like I know I just said like, oh, sit at your computer, slave away all day.
But that's at the beginning.
But it's at the beginning, but even with that, you should still be able to optimize your time. When you're building a business, scaling a business is really, really simple. All it comes down to is this. At the start, you do everything. Then once you start making some money, to scale the business, all you do is pay people to do things that are taking your time. So say for example, if I'm spending 10 hours a day doing this business model and 3 of those hours are doing outreach and now I'm making 10K a month, you should allocate a few grand of that 10K a month to outreach to hire someone to do it, and now you have 3 more hours to build the business.
Yeah.
So it's all about allocating your time with the money you're making from the business so that you can work on the business rather than in the business. That's all it is. And a lot of people, they can't figure that out, and a lot of people, they'll make their first money, and I'm victim of this too. I made my first money. I didn't give a fuck about scaling a business or anything like that. I went to the club. I was just fucking popping off. I didn't give a fuck about long term or anything like that. Which honestly, I believe you should get out of your system. If you've never like blown money before, when you make your first money, you should just blow it. You should just fucking get rid of it. You should buy a watch. You should go to the club and get a bunch of bottles. You should just burn through that cash. Because when you do that, you're gonna realize how fucking good it feels and how badly you want money. And then the next time you get money, then you'll actually be fine like reinvesting into the business and building something that cash flows you.
Yeah, agreed 1000%. What do you think is the first hire somebody should make if they're in the same like space as you?
The first hire somebody should make should be, so most of the people, like most of my mentees, when it gets to the point of like their first hire, usually it's after they already have a couple creators that they're working with. They already have a couple creators under their belt, and then it gets to the point where their brain just gets fucked up because they have all these offers they're running and they start confusing them with each other, and it's not so much a time thing but like a mental capacity thing. So the first hire, at least for me and for most of my mentees, is hiring someone that can pretty much just manage and oversee the whole thing, so then you can focus on bringing on more creators and optimizing the small things, and they pretty much just make sure everything runs.
So like a client success manager?
Exactly. A crazy story, but I'm not gonna get into the whole story. First of all, speeding cameras are your biggest enemy in Dubai. They're everywhere. You need to drive with Waze, because every time you get flashed, it's like $200-300. We found that out the hard way, bro. We took like 2 GT3s to the mountains of Sharjah, which is like a 3-hour drive. And it turns out the cameras out there aren't mapped on Waze. In the span of 24 hours, I'm not even kidding, I got the car impounded like 4 times. Basically, if you go over the speed limit too much, it gets impounded. But everything in Dubai you can pay for. So you just have to pay to unimpound it. I spent literally like 10 grand in 24 hours on speeding tickets. It was the biggest L I've ever taken in my life, where I was actually like, holy shit, that was a waste of money. Like I've blown money, you don't find out until like a day later. Like bro, I've blown money at clubs and shit, but I've never regretted anything like that.
You had a good time,
But that was like just pure fucking waste. But it makes you think like, dude, another thing that happened is we were driving dune buggies in the desert.
That's fun.
And it was me and Azarel. And I was passenger, he was driving. He was doing donuts and he flipped it. The whole buggy flipped and did a full 360 and landed on its side. And the fine for that was like 5K USD or something.
There's a fine for that?
There's a fine for that because it fucks up the whole thing, bro. Like the side panel came off, and but what we were talking about is like, dude, if we were like a normal person on vacation in Dubai and we just flipped that buggy, like we're in debt for the next year now. Like you can't just pay a 5K fine to a normal person.
That'll come out of savings.
So Dubai is that, and like the speeding cameras, you just gotta be careful. Because everything in Dubai is expensive, so if you fucking break something, it's gonna be expensive.
How much money do you think someone should have before they head over to Dubai?
I mean, it depends if they're going to be doing shit. If they're just going to be sitting in an apartment working, and you know, ordering food. Well, bro, I'll say this first of all. If you're just going to be locked in, you don't even need 10K a month. We had a maid in Dubai, a full-time maid. She lived with us, cooked, cleaned, everything, 24/7 service. We paid her 700 USD per month.
Oh wow.
Labor there is extremely cheap because they just import people from fucking India and Ethiopia and shit. They just import them.
Yeah.
And to them, it's a shit ton of money. They have a great life. To us, obviously, it's not because we're earning in USD. But if you actually want to like go have fun and like, you know, really the split is like work 4 or 5 days a week, and then on the weekend you do some fun shit. That's pretty much what I did there. If you really want to have fun, bro, and like rent cars all the time and ride dune buggies and shit, you don't need more than like 20 grand a month. Like honestly, 20 grand a month gets you a really fucking good life in Dubai. Yeah. Food, all of that kind of shit in Dubai is way, way cheaper than Miami. Like Miami, when it comes to restaurants and shit,
Miami's a joke.
There's nowhere else more expensive than Miami for that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, do you think info's for anyone specifically, or like it's specifically for people who, you know, can handle numbers better or systems?
I mean, well, here's the thing. Really, what it comes down to with this business model, it's not so much like getting clients or actually building out the offers or setting up the softwares. Like, to me, that stuff is not that hard. The biggest thing is making these creators feel like, you know, they're your business partner, not like they're just another agency client in a sea of agency clients. So it really comes down to how well you're able to communicate and like how quickly you can answer someone. The richest people I know, they fucking respond to text instantly. If you text them, 2 seconds later they respond because they're just on their phone all day. I'm not saying it needs to be like that, but if, you know, the creator wants something tweaked on a landing page or they ask a question, it shouldn't take 2-3 days to get that done. It really just comes down to being able to move quickly, and it has to be your main thing. This is not the type of business model where you can be doing drop shipping at the same time, and it's not so much so like because it takes 10 hours a day. It's just the mental capacity you need to have it to like I said, be working with these guys like they're your business partner. Yeah. And you know, if you're running an agency with clients, then you can kind of run it like that and have them feel like a client. But that's why the agency model is broken, and no one can ever get past 10K a month, because you get someone on a 2K retainer and then you only retain them for 3 months, and it's like you're always stuck at like 5K a month. But that's why I like this business model, because I work with literally everyone on a rev share. It's like they're my business partner. You really only need 1 or 2 solid clients to make fucking 10, 20, 30 grand a month. That's why I like this business model. That's why I chose it years ago when I started focusing on it.
Mm-hmm. And going back, speaking about communication and building a relationship, being fast, stuff like that, when it comes to DMs, do you recommend pitching off the bat, Loom videos, or creating a relationship with them first?
So I have a bit of a different strategy. Obviously, like I said, the most important thing is your Instagram profile. Yeah. But the actual DM I send, and this is kind of like this was like kind of the thing I was known for when I started my own program like 6 months ago, because I made a video on this, basically like a course video showing how to do this. It got like 15K views, and I saturated the fuck out of it because of that. I had to change it up a little bit. Basically what I would do is I would send a DM, I would ask, do you sell one-on-one mentorship? And they would all respond because they think I'm interested in buying it. Yeah. And then I would basically bait and switch them and reverse it and be like, oh, you're selling high ticket mentorship. Are you doing anything with your unqualified leads? Like, I build out low ticket offers. You could downsell everyone that's unqualified for your high ticket and put them in a low ticket. Because guys, if people can buy, if someone is selling a 5K program, that's all they're selling, I guarantee you they're getting hundreds of leads that can't afford 5K, but maybe they could afford $100 a month. So then all I would do is go and build them out a low ticket offer, and then that's how I would get in there.
Funny how you say it's saturated. I get those DMs all the time.
Yeah, you probably
got it from you. Yeah,
bro. The crazy thing is I get the DM and I came up with it. Yeah. Like all the time I get, do you sell one-on-one mentorship, and I'll just be like, bro.
It must be cool to see though.
Yeah, it's cool, but I had to fucking change up my strategy. I saturated my own shit, bro. Yeah.
And in Dubai, were you staying in a house or apartment?
It was not a villa, it was an apartment. Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool,
it was actually fucking like the spot we have here is nice. Yeah. I'll show you. You can actually see it right here.
Okay.
It's the one that
the round right
there. Yeah. Okay. Right there with the tree on top of it. See it?
Oh yeah, I see it right there.
So, yeah, we have the top floor penthouse here, which is really, really sick. I know everyone in Miami says they have the penthouse and it's like a one-bedroom apartment, but it's like you just saw, bro. It's like it's actually the penthouse.
Everybody says they have a penthouse.
Top floor penthouse, which is a really sick feeling just because it's the top floor. Our crib in Dubai was really, really fucking nice too. It was a lot bigger. This place is like, I think it was like a little less than 3,000 square feet. The one in Dubai was like almost 5,000 square feet. It was just huge.
Shoot, that's huge.
And we had a bunch of bedrooms. We had the maid room. Every crib in Dubai comes with a maid room. That's all you have to know.
That's dope.
But really, bro, just like Dubai, it's just so easy to be locked in because of how convenient everything is.
Yeah.
Like having a full-time maid for $700, being able to order food and it comes in literally like 5-10 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating. Like there's no place that's more convenient than that. So
Yeah.
that was really sick.
Do you recommend entrepreneurs who are starting to kill it move out here to Miami or Dubai?
Bro, honestly, it depends on the type of person you are. So if you move out to Miami, well, first of all, you should visit both places regardless. Miami, in my opinion, makes me want to make more money because the flex
Agreed.
culture is not as big in Dubai. In Miami, everyone wants to flex on each other. Everyone knows who drives what car. Everyone wants to put a loud ass exhaust on their car. Everyone wants to pop bottles. That's not a thing in Dubai. You don't hear like loud ass cars with custom exhaust in Dubai. That's not a thing. People don't really pop bottles like that in Dubai. Like the club scene is not really that crazy there. And it's because like, bro, you have all these people that are like these billionaire sheikhs with the most fucking crazy Brabus fucking Bugatti bullshit. Like there's no way you're even gonna compete with that.
Yeah.
So like to me, maybe I'm just not at that level yet, but Dubai doesn't feel that competitive. I feel very isolated and in my own lane in Dubai. Miami, I feel like it's constant competition, always like fighting for the attention type shit.
Yeah.
Which to me, it just feels way more competitive and it makes me like want to go harder.
Yeah.
But it depends on the person.
Do you think it's more distracting here in Dubai, like to focus on
Oh,
the
bro,
work?
here, bro. Dubai is
Yeah,
like,
agreed,
bro.
yeah.
Dubai is like you can lock in Dubai so easily. I had times I literally wouldn't exit the crib for like 2 weeks in Dubai.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking you can lock the fuck in there. But Miami, it is so difficult, especially if you have money.
Last question, if you had one piece of advice for somebody watching this, like from everything you've learned, from everything you've done in your life, everything that happened to you, what would it be?
There's a lot of ways I could take this question. I think the best advice I could give would be related to like making money and becoming successful. I could give a lot of advice with like girls and shit too.
Yeah.
But as far as like making money and becoming successful, don't fall into the trap that you have time. Because everyone always wants to say that you have time and like all this shit. You should be stressing yourself the fuck out to make money as quickly as possible. You should not fall into the sign that you have time and allow yourself to take days off and that sort of thing until you're at this level. Until you've reached that level where you're doing almost 200 grand a month.
Yeah.
Like you need to not adopt that mindset. The people that tell you that shit and the people that adopt that mindset, like what do you want to be? Even if you get rich by the time you're like 40 years old. You're 40 years old, bro. There's nothing better than having a shit ton of money when you're 20. There's nothing better than, you know, me and Samir, bro, we go to the club, we both just turned 21 years old. Like for us to spend 20K on a tab and it's just these two young kids here, like
enjoying life, yeah.
It feels amazing compared to, obviously I don't know what it feels like to do that as a 40-year-old, but I see old people in clubs and I'm just like what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing better than having money, especially when you're young and you're at your youth, and obviously like girls and all the things that come with money. It's just a fucking amazing thing, and you shouldn't take your time for granted. And really, bro, you have one life. There's no reason you shouldn't want to get into a position where you can do whatever the fuck you want. If I want to, I can fly to Europe tomorrow, which I'm about to in like 2 weeks. But if I wanted to, I could literally say, I'm gonna hop on a flight to Dubai tonight. I can do that, and my business will keep running. Nothing in my life gets affected. If you're not at that stage yet, if it's because you don't have the freedom to, because you're tied to your business even, or you don't have the time to, whatever it is, if you're not at the stage to where you can just do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want, then you have some work to do, and it's worth grinding your ass off to get to that point, because being at that point is the best fucking feeling. There's no better feeling in life than not having to worry about money and still being able, I'm not even just talking about bills, paying your rent. I'm saying like being able to take a girl out on $1,000 dinner date and not think that's a lot of money, or not be like stressing about it, like, oh, let's not get this appetizer.
Yeah.
Like, no, let's get 5 fucking appetizers, let's get all the entrees, let's get the fucking cocktails with Clase Azul, they get $60 a cocktail. I made that mistake once. I took a girl out, bro, these Miami girls, I took a girl out, she ordered a cocktail with Clase Azul, which if you guys don't know, it's like an expensive tequila. Normally cocktails are like 20 bucks. I didn't think anything of it. So I drink a lot. So on this day, I had like 4 or 5 drinks. I was just like, yeah, whatever she got, just bring that. I ended up spending literally like $600 on drinks. It made it like $80 per cocktail or something. Like,
Jeez.
retarded. But my point is, like, still being able to do that, playing it off nonchalant, throw the card down. I didn't even realize until after when I checked my Amex statement, and I was like, what the fuck did I spend all this money on?
Yeah.
But bro, just having the aura to be able to like just throw your card down, not even open the bill. It's a really fucking good feeling.
Yeah. And one advice you have for women, you talked about earlier.
Advice for women?
When it comes to women.
Oh, when it comes to women. Bro, just don't be frugal. Don't be one of those guys that's like, and bro, honestly, my thoughts on this shit like changes quite a bit. So I might look at this in a month and think I'm a fucking idiot. So take this with a grain of salt. When it comes to women, bro, first of all, you have to have that period where like you've experienced a lot of women. And I don't even mean like you have a high body count. I just mean like talking to a lot of women, going on a lot of dates, like experiencing the different types of women. So then it's really easy for you to identify what type of girls are actually good and what type of girls are good for you. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with having experiences with girls that you know are bad for you. Like I had this girl that I was talking to, and like I knew she probably wasn't the best for me, and I knew that like we probably weren't gonna get fucking married, but I still really enjoyed my time with her. I enjoyed taking her on dates. I would literally take her shopping and fucking spend thousands of dollars on her, like knowing that it's not a smart financial decision, but it just feels good. Like taking a girl shopping and being able to buy her fucking Hermes for $1,000, $2,000. Like, even though it's stupid, and I probably sound like I'm a trick right now saying this, but it's a good feeling. Like you can feel the aura when you pull up in a fucking Lambo and you open the door for her and you go inside, you walk out with an Hermes bag. It sounds really stupid, but if you have money and it's like, you know, to me, a couple grand is not a ton of money. When you're at that stage, like spending that kind of money on girls feels really, really good. Spending a lot of money on a date, spending a lot of money on a trip, just being able to like treat people and have them experience like what being part of your life feels like, it's a really fucking good feeling. Yeah. So it's not even so much about like doing it for the girl. Like when I take a girl shopping, bro, I'm doing it for me. Like it genuinely feels good, and I feel like more powerful being able to do that. You know what I mean?
Sounds good. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, that's pretty much a wrap with my vlog with Dustin. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I would really appreciate if you guys would like, drop a comment, and subscribe. And if you're somebody who wants to learn how to make money online and surround yourself around other winners, the link to my free Discord community will be linked below. And also, if you're somebody who's trying to grow their brand, you're a coach, and you're struggling to bring in leads through content and stuff like that, there's also a link in the description with my free training teaching you exactly how to structure your content to bring in those leads. But that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed. We have some dope videos coming up. Going to be doing more value videos as well, like dropping more value, explaining what I do, explaining how to make money, and just have the right systems through content and stuff like that. But that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.